This is Cablenet's live local election coverage. Election 85, coverage that counts. Brought to you in part tonight by MFC Mortgage Corporation, financing at competitive rates. Flaherty Jewelers in Arlington Heights with the finest selection in gifts. Mount Prospect State Bank. Come grow with us. Joe Varco of Highland Park. Car phones for the mobile business executives. Arlington Federal Savings and Loan with 7 convenient locations in the northwest suburbs. And Marciani Sales in Schaumburg for all your computer and software needs.
Good evening and welcome to Cablenet's Channel 51, coverage that counts, our election coverage for this April 1985. Glad to have you with us. I'm Jim Mitchell, and for the next 5 hours minimum, we will be here from Mount Prospect Live, bringing you the results of the local municipal elections. Joining me tonight, as she has done in the past, is Sharon Alter, Associate Professor from Harper College. And Sharon, good to have you with us again.
Thank you. Nice to be here this evening.
A little bit more elaborate than 2 years ago when we worked together. We've branched out into several new communities, and there are some very exciting races tonight.
Well, especially Hanover Park, there are 4 full party slates. In Northbrook, there's an incumbent being challenged by an independent who actually got the caucus nomination. And in Park Ridge, a 3-term incumbent is really being seriously challenged for one of the very first times.
Okay, we will look at those and many other races tonight, and we hope to have up-to-the-minute results for you. We have volunteers at each city clerk's office in our area or at party headquarters in some instances, so we will have the results as they come in. As I said, 5 hours live tonight. We'll be emanating not only from here but from several other locations, our Streamwood Displaying Studios and the Northbrook City Hall with one of our mobile units, and we have camera crews which will be at 5 other locations tonight. Plus we hope to get a number of people on the phone to talk to us, plus guests. We'll have representatives from every community stop by, talk to us in one of our studios. So we have a very full night. We're looking forward to having you with us. I mentioned the different communities. We will be checking in all areas. Out of here, we'll be dealing with all communities, but we'll talk to people from Arlington Heights and Mount Prospect, Prospect Heights and Wheeling. And we also have studios set up in Des Plaines, Northbrook, and Streamwood. Now, first of all, out in Des Plaines, we've got the Des Plaines and Park Ridge races, and that's what we'll be checking into. And standing by out there for us is Susan Anderson. Susan, we got a lot going on in your area tonight.
Not too much happening right now, Jim, but in this location tonight, as you just said, we'll be specifically concerned with returns from both Des Plaines and Park Ridge. We'll also have an opportunity to speak with Park Ridge incumbent Mayor Marty Butler, challenged this year by Alderman Jack Barnett in what has been talked about and considered a very heated race. We'll be awaiting returns from Des Plaines, where incumbent Mayor Jack Seitz is opposed by James Romberg. Romberg is brand new to Des Plaines politics and seemingly is intent on starting at the top. Also, we'll be speaking with Mary Magnuson. She is Assistant Director and Staff Attorney for the Northwest Municipal Conference. Hopefully we'll gain some insight into the functions of that conference, so we'll try and keep you as updated as possible. Okay,
thanks, Susan. We'll check back in a little while. Sharon, Des Plaines and Park Ridge, 2 very communities that have good tradition and some incumbent people that are being challenged tonight. The mayoral races will be very close out there.
Well, I would imagine, especially in Park Ridge, Marty Butler has served for 3 full terms. He's running for a 4th term. He has been very active in the community, very hardworking, and I think that he is facing the challenge for the first time since he was elected. And
that's an area we'll try and get into a little bit later on. In Northbrook, we'll want to talk about the Northbrook and Glenview races, completely different situations out there. And for those of you familiar with Channel 51 and our sports coverage, we've traded hats tonight, and Bert Groner has joined us. Bert, you have some interesting things going on. Tell us about what's happening in Northbrook.
All right, Jim, we are live here at the 29th Precinct here in Northbrook, and it's very quiet here right now. They're counting the ballots here in the 29th Precinct, and they anticipate being done with that very soon. You mentioned the interesting thing that's going on here is the race between incumbent Village President Lucinda Casperson and the independent candidate Richard Falcone. And it's a very heated race throughout the village, some controversial things going on in that race. And a little bit later on this evening, we hope to have both candidates on live here from the Northbrook Village Hall. And we're going to talk to both of them, get their ideas and input as far as what's going on in the race. Lucinda Casperson hopefully will be here around 10 o'clock this evening, and Richard Falcone about 8:15.
Okay. Thank you very much, Bert. Let me move on. We want to get out to Streamwood and check in very quickly, because we have Terry Lockman standing by out there. We have a lot going on in the western suburbs, Hanover Park, Schaumburg, Streamwood, and the Bartlett area. Terry, real quickly, what's going to go on tonight?
Well, Jim, I believe the Tri-Village area and Schaumburg have the most hotly contested races. In Hanover Park alone, there are 4 major parties that are trying to get elected into office, the Big Party, Choice Party, Fair Party, and the Change Party. In Schaumburg, the Schaumburg United Party has been in dominant since 1959, but many people have stated that this year is a do-or-die situation for them because there are many independent candidates running in this election.
Okay, we'll check back and we'll have some guests with you a little bit later on. Thank you, Terry. We're very pleased tonight to have a number of sponsors with us who are helping us put this program together and join us on Channel 51. So we would like to check in with our first commercial, and then Sharon and I are going to be back to talk about all these races as we look at the candidates who are involved. So stay with us on Channel 51 for more coverage that counts.
Marciani Sales is the computer store with a difference. We have all your data processing requirements in one location. Computers, supplies, custom programming, computer furniture, training, and service after the sale. Stop in at Marciani Sales at 520 South Roselle Road in Schaumburg, or call 980-3040 to see what we can do for you. The true one-stop shopping for all your gift and data processing requirements. Marciani Sales, 520 South Roselle Road in Schaumburg. Are you looking for the house of your dreams? We're MFC Mortgage Corporation, and we're here to help you afford a new dream home. As a subsidiary of First National Bank of Wheeling, we have combined mortgage experience of over 25 years. Our trained specialists will help you find the program right for you. We have a wide variety of fixed and variable rate programs. For more information, call us today at 459-8123 or ask your realtor. MFC, we're making dreams come true.
Okay, let us get right into talking about the elections tonight and find out exactly who's involved. We've got roughly 140 candidates involved in our 12 communities, and as we go through our list now, you will see what those communities are. The results are very important tonight. That's our priority, so we'll be talking about that. And I think the best thing to do is for Sharon and I just to take a look at the list of candidates now and find out who's running. We can see in Arlington Heights that James Ryan will be running as an incumbent unopposed for what will be his 4th term as mayor. It's a bit surprising, I think, that he has not been opposed in this race. Now, the trustee races. In Arlington Heights, there are 3 incumbents running. 4 will be elected. 7 people running altogether. Dwight Walton has been involved in Arlington Heights area quite a bit, and he's a name to watch tonight. And, of course, the gun control referendum.
And that gun control referendum is being watched, actually, throughout the state.
I think we'll find out later on that there's a lot more to it than just Arlington Heights residents involved in that.
Exactly.
Bartlett Village President Glenn Kohler is an incumbent. His 1st term now up, and he's being challenged by Ronald Temko. There will be a village clerk race, Linda Harper, the incumbent there, and some trustee races in that area as well. Much competition in Bartlett?
Some. It's become a little bit more heated than it usually is, but Hanover Park in that particular area has the most heated race, actually.
Okay, and that's what we'll be watching for as we move along here. You can see 3 incumbents, and there will only be 3 elected for these 4-year terms. All races that we're talking about tonight are 4-year terms. There's no 2 or 6 years. So everything will be dealt along the same way. We're looking at mayors, village presidents, and trustees and aldermen and city clerks. Mayor Des Plaines, here it is, Romberg against Seitz. Romberg, no real political experience in the city of Des Plaines.
No, but Seitz in his 1st term has had some opposition on the city council, and Romberg is the byproduct of that opposition.
Right, and he is finishing his 1st term. He's the first part-time mayor from Des Plaines.
Right.
And here's a look at their city treasurer race, no incumbent there. The aldermen in Des Plaines and Prospect Heights break down by ward, and we'll be watching separate wards here. Muhlenbeck, an incumbent in the 2nd ward here. Joseph Bonk has 2 competitors. Anything special in any of these Des Plaines aldermanic races we need to look for?
Yes, actually, the ward in which Ward is running.
Okay, 8th ward.
Right. He is going to be a write-in candidate because his name was removed from the ballot on a technicality. He is the incumbent.
And a long time incumbent, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And the Circuit Court of Cook County removed him from the ballot on that technicality.
As a matter of fact, in terms of the amount of time that he spent in community service on the town governmental affairs, he's tabulated as 20,000 hours, which I think is really significant.
Is there any hope for a write-in candidate at any?
He is the incumbent. He has name recognition. He's been there a long time, active in community service. He may very well win.
Okay, we will watch that. There it is, the 8th ward. We move to Glenview. No opposition, a hand-picked successor to Thomas Smith, who's stepping down. So we won't have to watch that too closely, although we do hope to get some comments from Glenview as the evening goes on. Village clerk, same situation. The incumbent will be back. Glenview has a very quiet race, really, in all areas tonight. Somewhat different than what we'll see in Northbrook. Here we've got 4 people running, 3 of them are incumbents, 3 of them will be elected. So if there's going to be an upset, only 1 person will be out at that point. Hanover Park, here's the big one, 4 people running for village president.
And there are 4 full slates.
All the way down.
Exactly.
One thing we're going to talk about tonight, we're going to ask these candidates and talk to some of the other people who are in. 4 slates in a community, does that represent dissatisfaction among the voters, or does it represent a community where everyone likes to get involved?
It could be a combination of both.
Okay, we'll pose that as we get the opportunity. The 4 slates, of course, give us a number of trustees, and you'll see these names come across. The parties, as Terry let their village officials know today how they felt about a proposal to ban the sale and possession of handguns within their community. This hotly contested issue was taken to the voters in the form of a non-binding, as we mentioned, advisory referendum designed to help village officials determine if there is a strong demand for such a ban. Now, an actual ban is not going to be enacted because of this referendum one way or the other. However, if it appears that there is a strong public support for such a ban, the village board will have to more closely consider the issue. Cablenet's Jeff Rotman has been following the story, and he has this report for us.
The decision by the Arlington Heights Village Board to take the advisory referendum to the voters came after long months of heated debate among pro- and anti-gun control groups. At a public hearing last December, attended by nearly 400 people, members of the Arlington Heights Village Board heard statements from several residents, most of whom opposed the ban.
Remember Lenin, 2 steps forward, 1 step backward. First, gun control, road control, speech control, thought control, 1 step.
I came here tonight with the hopes that I could have a longer time to talk with you people who believe that ordinance of this type is going to do anything in this village. I personally don't think it's going to save 1 life now or 20 years from now.
To allow easy accessibility in a community that, according to our opponents, has no problem, but in fact had 19 handgun-related incidents since January of 1984 is ridiculous. A substitute for a handgun for protection can be made easily. The rights of hunters and competitive marksmen should be taken into consideration. The Supreme Court has made its ruling. We are not asking, we are begging this village board to pass an ordinance to ban handguns in Arlington Heights for the quality of life in this city and neighboring communities that will be following suit as well.
I recently spoke with 3 supporters of the ban, Tim Williams, Richard Frisbee, and Penny Termott.
I wonder if there is concern about having handguns as they are about having their rights to own a handgun. Now, I think a lot of these people do have handguns, but I think they're more concerned that someone or that the government is stepping in and taking away another right from them by taking away their handgun. We look at it more as a common sense issue, as Tim is saying, that a handgun in a home only serves 1 purpose, and that's to kill another human being. So I think that's why it's difficult to sit down and compromise on the issue.
Supporters of the ban have faced stiff opposition from several anti-gun control groups. I recently spoke with Stahl Johannesson, a founder of one of these groups, the Coalition for Citizens' Rights.
We can't find a succinct reason for them doing this other than that they're saying they wish to send a message to the legislature and to the rest of the country. We don't feel that the village code and the village laws are the proper vehicle for sending such a message, because it would indeed infringe upon constitutionally guaranteed rights of every citizen in this village while not adequately addressing the problem as they delineate it.
Statistics are an integral part of the arguments on both sides. In a report prepared by the Arlington Heights Police Department specifically for this issue, statistics were compiled on handgun-related incidents within the village over the past 25 years. Findings for the period between January 1st and November 30th, 1984 show that the police department received a total of 26,831 calls. Of those calls, 17 were directly related to handguns. A breakdown by category of those 17 calls reveals that 3 were armed robberies, 6 were aggravated assaults, 5 involved unlawful use of handguns, and 3 were suicides. I asked Arlington Heights Mayor James Ryan if he felt that these statistics reflected a problem with handguns within the community.
I would have to say that any impassioned or any objective person observing those statistics on either side, and I think both would have to agree, that you would not be able to say that Arlington Heights per se has a problem with handguns. Now, you certainly may have disagreements on that same issue if you say, does the state of Illinois, or does the federal government, or does the city of Chicago? But if you simply ask the insular question of whether Arlington Heights has had a problem with handguns, I think most would have to agree that we have not. And that doesn't mean that something is not going to. That doesn't mean that there hasn't been some innocent person that has become a suicide, or we've recently had a killing take place at the racetrack, a very serious thing having perhaps to do with gambling. That doesn't mean those things don't happen on occasion. But the numbers are minuscule as far as Arlington is concerned. Whether or not a handgun ban would even prevent the few incidences we have from happening is a question I think I have to leave to our viewers and our constituencies.
The Cablenet, I'm Jeff Rotman.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. That's an issue we'll be watching, of course, the referendum in Arlington Heights. And to talk about Arlington Heights politics a little bit, stay with us, because joining us next will be Mayor Jim Ryan and Ann Burris from the Daily Herald. So please stay with us on Channel 51 for more coverage that counts.
At Mount Prospect State Bank, we're here to take care of you. In this rapidly changing financial world, Mount Prospect State Bank has kept up with the times by providing you with the latest services to meet your financial needs. We've maintained our personalized service to you for almost 75 years. From children to retirees, we have the products and programs to accommodate your financial requirements and make your life less complicated. Come grow with us. Mount Prospect State Bank, routes 14 and 83.
Pagers really come in handy.
Call Mr. Hutton now or you're going to lose the account.
Except when you're not near a phone.
For a limited time only, Javarco of Highland Park has a deal you can't beat. The Western Union car phone for $49 per month. No security deposit or down payment required, or you can own it today for less than $1,500. Javarco can install your phone at your business or home, so call Javarco at 831-3500.
Can I use your phone? It's only a local call.
Are you looking for the house of your dreams? We're MFC Mortgage Corporation, and we're here to help you afford a new dream home. As a subsidiary of First National Bank of Wheeling, we have combined mortgage experience of over 25 years. Our trained specialists will help you find the program right for you. We have a wide variety of fixed and variable rate programs. For more information, call us today at 459-8123 or ask your realtor. MFC, we're making dreams come true.
We're back, and welcome again, Channel 51, coverage that counts. I'm Jim Mitchell, with me is Sharon Alter. And now we'd like to talk about Arlington Heights a little bit. We're dealing with some of the competitive races tonight that exist in our communities, and it's nice to have with us someone we can project as a winner already. To my right,
Arlington Heights.
How long have you lived in Arlington Heights?
For 5 years.
And will you be voting in the election?
I'm not really sure yet.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Are there any issues in the election that are important to you especially?
Village trustees, probably the most important.
And do you have an opinion on the gun control issue?
Yes, I do, but I just as soon not express it.
What town are you from?
Arlington Heights.
And will you be voting in the local election?
Yes, I will.
And what issues are there any issues that are important to you in this election?
Well, all issues are important to me as a resident of Arlington Heights. Particularly the Park District.
And how long have you lived in Arlington Heights, sir?
Since 1950, that's 35 years.
Do you have any opinions on the election?
I don't know that much who's running in that yet. They usually have something in the paper a couple days beforehand, so I can get a grip on who's running.
I live in Mount Prospect, and I'm very happy here. I live in a senior citizen housing, but I've only been here since September. So I do not know the politicians here, but I will do the best I can because I never miss a vote.
What election? I'm not sure there's an election going on.
You're watching the coverage that counts, Cablenet's live local election coverage. It's brought to you by MFC Mortgage Corporation, financing at competitive rates. Flaherty Jewelers in Arlington Heights, with the finest selection and gifts. The Mount Prospect State Bank, come grow with us. Joe Varco of Highland Park, car phones for the mobile business executives. Arlington Federal Savings and Loan with 7 convenient locations in the northwest suburbs. And Marciani Sales in Schaumburg for all your computer and software needs.
We had Mayor Ryan with us, 4th term. He's been around. He is a politician.
Yes, most definitely.
He's very well aware of what his community wants at this point, I think. Terry Lockman standing by in Streamwood, and joining him is Sonia Crawshaw. Terry, why don't you tell us what's happening in Streamwood and the Hanover Park area?
Okay, thanks, Jim. With me, like you said, is Sonia Crawshaw, who was a three-term village clerk for Hanover Park and is now running for village president with the big party. Right now, Sonia, the vote totals is rather early, and I don't have a correct figure of any vote totals. Do you know of anything right now that's going on?
The last I knew was approximately 4 o'clock this afternoon. We were running about the same numbers as we had last year, or 2 years ago rather, which was about 2,200 votes. So we anticipate about the same number.
Well, that's interesting because a couple of years ago it turned out, with all the issues that are going on in this election, especially in Hanover Park, the issues are so big that you would think more people would come out and vote.
We would have hoped so, but who knows what people want to do.
Most of the campaign talk between the 4 parties, and I'd like to mention again the 4 parties are your party, the big party, the Fair Party, the Change Party, and the Choice Party, all running in Hanover Park, has focused on the economic development, police protection, village image, and youth problems in Hanover Park. How have these issues been approached by yourself and your party, and how does your approach differ from those of the other 3 parties?
I'd like to answer the second question first, and that is that we have tried to do a very positive